Hi everyone, Becky here. Yeah, so there's kind of been breaking news in the world of Chinese language learning, which is kind of wild considering how ancient this language is. But okay, so this is ChineseTest.cn, and we got this new panel here. Oh, this is the Chinese version. Let's switch to English. That doesn't mean there's going to be English. So, okay, announcement. What does the announcement say? There's no English here, is there? So there is a HSK, what they're calling 3.0 Kaoshi. We'll get more into that in a second. So this is the first trial run for levels 1 through 6. It'll say there somewhere here. 1 through 6 for the new post-reform HSK. And the first exam is on the 31st of January next year. For those of you who aren't up to date, Chinese New Year is on the 15th of February. So I was a bit worried about that. That's pretty close to Chinese New Year. But anyway. So this is going to be rolled out, what they're calling the HSK 3.0. Now, what do I mean by this? Okay, first of all, yeah, so it's going to be rolled out. We're predicting it's going to be rolled out between now and July next year. These are what I've been hearing from various sources. I don't know how reliable these sources are, but you know, that's what we've been working with for the last 5 years or something. All right. Now, why am I saying what they call HSK 3.0? So that relates to this examination syllabus. So if you click on that, we discover, wait a minute, there is a new syllabus. Yeah. So what's going on? What's going on? So yeah, so these were the official standards from 2021. This was meant to be the syllabus we're working with. And a lot of people have designed courses, have made YouTube videos, have made apps, and so on, based on this corpus. I have something like 5 or 6 different textbooks that use this corpus from 2021. Unfortunately, COVID came along and just messed everything up. Messed everything up. And so this syllabus, did I say corpus? I should say syllabus. This syllabus never came to fruition, or at least not for the HSK 1 through 6. There is currently the HSK 7 through 9, which does follow this. So noteworthy here was things like handwriting. 能够掌握初等手写汉字表中的汉字. Right? So in the 2021 syllabus, they said handwriting is coming. It did not come. There are handwritten exams, but yeah, you're not forced to handwrite. There are also computer exams for both. Well, actually, as far as I know, there are no handwritten exams for the 7 through 9 exam. Right. Now, the problem is everyone calls this the HSK 3.0 syllabus. So this is what, in my mind, is the HSK 3.0. This is the official thing everyone's been working with for the last 4 or 5 years, whatever. And it's what the books use, it's what apps use, etc., etc. And now, as of this was launched like 2 days ago, we now have this. We now have yet another syllabus. So I'm not going to call this the HSK 3.0. I've been calling this the HSK 3.1 because I feel like it's a new version. So if I say HSK 3.1, it is this syllabus. If I say HSK 3.0, it is this syllabus. And then there's previous syllabi. HSK 2.0, HSK 1.0. Yeah, we need some sort of version numbering to differentiate these. This is what all the apps use currently. This is presumably what's going to be on this upcoming exam, which they're calling HSK 3.0, but it's not this, it's this. All right, just to be a bit confusing. All right. All right. So I'm very, very tempted to actually take this exam on January 31. There is prep time. I'll probably do the HSK 6. It's a trial exam, new format. All right. So what is the format? That's what this sample questions is about. So that downloads onto your laptop or computer or whatever, or device. 1 second, I'll pop it up. Yeah, so here we are, the new exam. So this is the sample for reading, writing, listening, or listening, reading, writing in that order. All right, so what have we got here? It's all levels 1 through 6. And so this is what it looks like. So what is all that? Yeah, so these are samples. It's incomplete and so on. I want to talk about the HSK 6. So that's right at the end here. So what has changed between the HSK 2.0, which is what's currently in place, and if you go take a HSK, aside from this trial exam in January, right now, what will you expect? There is a teeny section with ERSAN 3 sections. The HSK 2.0, the current one, has 50 questions, not 40 questions. So it's 10 fewer questions in the listening section. Reading, 10 fewer questions as well, and the writing section is completely overhauled. So yeah, isn't okay. The listening section seems much the same, I believe. So you get listening, and you just pick one, whichever is correct. Here, this is like section 3 in the current exam, HSK 2.0, but now it looks, now they've changed it to section 2. Don't know why. And this is more like section 2. But yeah, so the listening section seems largely unchanged. It may have changed in terms of difficulty. I haven't done it yet. I'll have to check that out. Anyway, the main change is there's fewer questions, and that's it. So we have 8 of these. So on the HSK, the current HSK 6, there would be 15, and it's going to drop down to 8. This one, there was, then came this section where there was 3 interviews, 5 questions each. Here it's 4 questions each. All right, so that's -7, -5. Where are the other questions coming? Maybe there's a lot of these. Oops, what have I done? 9 to 28. What's that? That's 20 questions, is it? So what does that mean? This is increased. So there was 15 of these, there is now 20. All right. So that's a change. All right, well, so they got very few of these ones. These ones were relatively easy, so I presume that's why they got rid of them, or got rid of about half of them. Yeah, but otherwise it's mostly the same. So it's just changed the number of them, but they increased this one. So going from 15 to 20. So, all right. I'm not sure if all of them have 4 questions per snippet. On the current HSK 2.0 exam, they have 3 or 4. Very early on, there was a few questions that had, like, a few audios that had 2 questions, but that got phased out pretty quick. I haven't seen anything like that. Yeah, it was 3 or 4, and they adjusted it. I think the last 2 questions had 4 questions, but like they get batched together like this. Anyway, that's listening. Reading. So listening seems the same but shorter. I don't know the difficulty. We'll check that in a minute. Reading, we got the most important thing for reading. There is no faulty wording questions. None of this find the grammar error you being questions, right? And I think I'm like, yeah, yes, good riddance. No one liked that section. I don't believe anyone in the world would say, oh yeah, that was my favorite section. No. Chinese teachers hated that section because it was really hard to teach, and they couldn't get 100% in that section either. Like native speakers that are Chinese teachers could not get 100% in that section. So that just meant nobody's getting 100% in the reading section, and it seemed like, all right. It's almost like it's getting marked out of 90, 95 or something rather than 100, right? If you can't get 100%, then it's not marked out of 100%. Well, what's the highest possible mark you can get? That's the 100% mark. But it kind of feels unfair, right? But it's gone! It's gone. I am so excited about that. It's gone. Yeah, I spent a long time improving that section as well. So that is where, if we go back here, that is where the 10 questions are gone. The rest are the same. So 10 questions gone. It is precisely those faulty wording questions that nobody liked and seemed ultra pointless. Certainly helps you nitpick. If you want to nitpick people's grammar, it's good for that. Yeah, okay, your teacher gets mad at you if you nitpick their grammar. It's like, well, I don't know. That's what we're being taught to do. Yeah. And then the teacher gets angry at you. It's like, ah! All right. So that is gone. Sorry, where were we? All right. This has changed. So part 2 on the HSK 2.0 level 6 is similar to this but different in the sense that so previously it has been one question, so one snippet with 3 or 4 gaps, and you choose to fill in all of those in parallel, right? Here you fill in one gap and you have to know which is the correct word for each of them. This probably involves knowing a lot of collocations and knowing parts of speech. This is also grammar, right? Yeah, test your grammar just as much, or it's a better test of grammar, I think. Word choice. All right. This one, you fill in the blanks with another fill in the blank, but this time with clauses rather than words. And you just use them in order, and one of them is not used. All right. So that makes it, I don't know why, it combinatorially, like if everyone was used, yeah, you only get 1 out of 5 from guessing randomly. So yeah, anyway, you have to choose the one that's not in there as well. So this is probably marginally harder than what it was before. This one, it's hard to say. Like, I look at this and I see, oops, what do I see? I see no Chongyu. I see words. And if these are HSK 6 words on the syllabus, then that's probably not going to be a big deal. They all look HSK 6E. Let's pick one. 信赖. And let's go to this syllabus. 信赖. Here it is. HSK 6. Okay, let's do a few more actually. 困扰，困扰，发光，HSK6，公正，公正，HSK6. Yeah, okay, so I have a feeling I'm seeing a pattern here in that all of these are HSK6 words. Every single one. HSK6, HSK6, 这 K6, 优先. Right. So if that's the case and they're just sticking HSK6 words here, then that is going to be easier, I think, because that very much limits the amount you have to study. On the HSK 2.0, maybe I'll whip up an example. Right, so I quickly got this book. These are past exam papers for the HSK 6. These are from 2018. Yeah, so as you see, a massive difference in that, yeah, you've got words, oh yeah, bin in, 居住, KP. Maybe some of those are HSK 6, or most of them. Here you got 成语. Yeah, here you go. What is this? I don't even know what that is. 重蹈覆辙. I don't know, you have to infer what it means. So, you know, I know the other ones though. 花式天主, 半途而废, 南辕北辙. Yeah. So there's a lot of these that are just not HSK 6 words. So if that's the case, then yeah, it looks harder, but it might be substantially easier. Here's another example with Chengyu. Yeah, 废寝忘食，朝气蓬勃，无忧无虑，欣欣向荣. Yeah, I kind of know these somewhat. There's another one here at the bottom. Sorry, didn't prepare this very well, did I? Here. So what do we got? 急于求成，急功近利，理直气壮，迫不及待. Yeah, they're all quite different in meaning. But 成语, so that was what the HSK 6 was like. You needed to know a lot of 成语. Right. So now that that's out of the way, oh, sorry, we'll go back to here. And where's the syllabus? Here. So with this new HSK 3.1, how many Chengyu are on there? Let me show you. Yeah, so I posted this on Reddit yesterday. Chengyu. You can go and read it if you like. A first look at the new HSK 3.1 syllabus. As far as I know, I'm the only one calling it HSK 3.1 for now. Maybe it'll catch on. Yeah, because there's that second syllabus and I had to differentiate between this one, 3.0 and 3.1. All right, Chengyu. So, here. So these are just looking at the 4-character words. So that some of them are Chengyu, some of them are not. So these are the HSK 3.1. So this is the new syllabus. So HSK 2 has 不好意思. This is a verb and an adjective, is it not? 觉得很不好意思. Or maybe that's a noun. 不好意思起来. And you also just say it as like an interjection or something, right? 不好意思,不好意思. 十字路口. Yeah, these are not 成语. We get our first 成语 here on HSK 5. 丰富多彩. 各行各业 is not 成语. 亲朋好友. Maybe that counts as a 成语. I think it might as well. 酸甜苦辣. That one should count as a 成语, right? It's not literal. So the literal meaning is sour, sweet, bitter, spicy. But it's this. Joys and sorrows of life. Like the experiences you have in life. There's a large diversity. Some are good, some are bad. Some are, they're different, right? 五颜六色, multicolored. could count as a 成语. This one's not a 成语. 一路顺风,中华民族. This is China, the Chinese people, as like yeah, as a people. 成天上万. That should count as a 成语. This is HSK 6. There are only 17 words with 4 characters. So this has gone from 100 plus. So I'll pull that up. So, oops, this is the wrong one. This is another one. This is Chongyu convention where, yeah, large numbers of Chongyu for something else. Sorry, wrong file. This is the one I wanted. HSK Chongyu. So I did HSK 2.0, HSK 3.0. Looks like I'll have to do HSK 3.1 as well now. That's changed. So HSK 2.0, the current one in effect, has 100 and something. I don't think I differentiated between Chongyu and non-Chongyu. Here's the list. 111. Maybe they're all Chongyu. I did get rid of some of them that are obviously not Chongyu. And this is the HSK 3.0. And yeah, the 3.0 was very noteworthy in that here. So HSK 1 through 6 only includes those. And most of them aren't Chongyu. 一路平安,一路顺风, 五颜六色, 酸甜苦辣, 不怎么样. Yeah, this is not a Chongyu. This is more just like something people say. 绝大多数, yeah, this is also not a Chongyu. The vast majority. 一模一样. I don't know. Actually, this one counts as an idiom. I don't know. Like, different people have different standards for what's an idiom and what's not. 自言自语. This is a verb meaning to talk to oneself. Yeah, you can use it. 我自言自语道. It basically means you're thinking, but you're thinking by speaking aloud. But yeah, so we've gone from 111 Chongyu on the HSK 2.0 syllabus, where these are genuine Chongyu, right? Maybe that one's not genuine Chongyu, but lots of them are genuine Chongyu. Yeah, 不说, yeah. And now, so this is the HSK up to here. This includes all the HSK 3.0 Chongyu from levels 1 to 6. I think they're all 6, maybe some of them are level 5. And then when you get to HSK 7 through 9, welcome to several hundred Chongyu. I think it's like 400 Chongyu. 400 Chongyu. Yeah. And some I deleted as well. But yeah, some of them are obviously not Chongyu. So how many were there? 400 and something Chongyu. What would I put a number? Oh, yeah, 405. 405 Chongyu for the HSK 3.0, but almost all of them and all the hard ones are HSK 7 through 9, which means you almost don't need to know Chongyu for the HSK 6 exam using the 3.0 or 3.1 standards. Yeah. So for the HSK 3.1, yeah, there were even more Chongyu added to HSK 7 through 9, which is fine. It's fine. Like, it's meant to be hard at that level. No one's expecting that. You're basically native speaker territory. Like, you're like native speaker divided by 2 or divided by 3, maybe. Yeah. So I feel like anything's fair game on the HSK 7 through 9 almost. All right. So now let's go back to the exam. So we've seen something here. I did not realize this before, but if these are all HSK 6 words in this new HSK 3.1 level 6 syllabus, then that makes it so much easier. Then than the past exams where you have to know these Chongyu that are not even part of the HSK syllabus. So that is a massive lowering of difficulty there, I think. This one looks very similar. We talked about that, right? And this one, okay. Yeah, so this one looks similar. The only difference is you've got one option you have to throw away. They threw away A, did they? That's slightly more difficult, but probably the same in terms of difficulty. I'm not sure, because sometimes in the HSK 2.0 exams, you are not able to infer this uniquely, say 51 uniquely. You could say it could be C or it could be D, for example. And then down the line, you discover, oh, I have to put D here. And then you have to backtrack and say, oh, therefore this is C. And that is more of a logical puzzle than anything else. So this may or may not be substantially harder. I do not know. But yeah, maybe you're not able to backtrack if you have to throw one away. Yeah, that backtracking you do have to do on the HSK 6 exam. Like, yeah, I remember the first time I encountered this question type on the HSK 6 exam. I'll show you what it's like. So this is the current one with the 2.0 syllabus. Yeah, so when I first encountered it, I really felt kind of dejected after realizing I cannot figure out how to fill it in. And then when I read the strategy guides and they said, yeah, sometimes it can be filled in grammatically in multiple ways that make logical sense. And only down the line can you infer that has to be one particular answer and not the other, because only one of those fits in elsewhere. And that is a real challenge, this kind of logical backtracking you need to do for these questions. Yeah, so if they're throwing in one where you have to like not use, then that logical backtracking may not work because you can't exclude the options. I don't know, we'll have to see. Right, anyway, the question style is mostly the same, just with one extra. And this looks almost identical. Yeah, are there any nothing, they're all A, B, C, D, multiple choice. Right, so we've got 10 of these. So 10 of these means, oh, wow. So that's a major difference. I just realized. So this is section 1. There are 10 questions, but there's only 2 snippets. I think that's substantially less reading. Let me show you again, 1 second. Yeah, so on the HSK 6 with the 2.0 standards, yeah, you have 10 separate questions. You read this and fill it in, read this, fill it in, read this, fill it in. And each of those is 1 mark, and you're meant to do a pace of 1 question per minute. Yeah, usually I could do these quite fast. Why? I'm very familiar with collocations, lots of reading, that sort of thing. So I found this to be the fastest section I could do. Yeah, in the HSK. The slowest was the Yubing section, which no longer exists, which is going to improve my timing considerably. However, here you've got 1 snippet and 5 questions in one. So I'm not sure. Maybe how many characters is that? That is 260 characters. Yeah. As opposed to 5 So we'll go back to this one. So over here, 5 questions, like they get long as well. Some of them are pretty long. That's one question. You have to read this. Often you don't have time to actually read it, but you can infer the first blank and then you just choose the option. Oh, there's 5 answers here. 父亲总给人严肃的印象，但进来一组让爸爸跳起来的父女合影，却颠覆了，也 probably 传统 is a good one here，父亲的形象。Here 传统 yeah. So it's quite possible that you see the first blank. There's only one possibility. 朴素 is not good. 孤独 is like lonely. Yeah, 朴素 is an adjective that describes simple lifestyles, things like that. So A and D are already out. Sometimes you can just fill in the first blank and that's it. or if there's like a measure word or something like this, sometimes you can do that. Yeah, you don't have to read all that. You don't have to, like, if you are able to uniquely infer the answer. But yeah, it's a lot of reading. What's that? It's got to be over 100 characters. So I think my assessment is correct in that 5 questions in one for 260 characters is a substantial reduction in the reading load for this section. I'd have to run the numbers quite carefully, but all right. If that's the case, yeah, then the necessary reading speed might drop slightly, especially without the Yubing section, because the Yubing section, sorry, I'll get it up again. Here. Yeah, this is what you're reading. This is 1 mark in the reading section. You're meant to read this in a minute and find the grammar error. And yeah, you're 1 minute. Very, very challenging. Yeah. Yeah, at best I could get like 7. Like after like lots of practice and targeted training for these things, knowing what they're looking for. And this is grammar errors in the sense of some uptight linguist thinks they're a grammar error. And not that anyone cares. That kind of thing. Sometimes it does matter, actually. Sometimes they are genuine grammar errors and are important. So in its defense. But no one likes that section. I can tell you. All right. So I feel like the reading load is substantially easier. So this one looks much the same, right? 20 questions, that's the same. Yes. Yes. ABCD, 4 questions per question. And it looks like, so normally these are about 650 to 800 characters, something in that ballpark. Has that changed? This is 663. Yeah, so I think these are unchanged. At least they may have changed in terms of 超纲词, the extracurricular words. So for a HSK 6 exam, words outside the HSK 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 count as 超纲词, like words that are not in the syllabus. They can be HSK 7 through 9 words. They can be words that are not in the HSK at all. Things like that. It does not strike me as very hard, but we'll have a look at it in a minute. All right, and now the writing section. Now the writing section, everyone, well, I think large numbers of people hated the writing section on the HSK 2.0 exam. I'll give you a quick look, 1 second. Yeah, so this is the writing section on the HSK 6. I'm not joking. The writing section is more of a reading section part 2 kind of thing, or at least it felt that way. So you read this blah, 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 blah. There's about 1,000 characters. You read it in 10 minutes. you need a reading speed to be able to read that in 7 minutes and then read it a second time in about 2 minutes. Usually you skip the unimportant details and so on. You memorize 6 key facts: who, when, where, before, during, after. Who, like the main people in the story; where, like where it took place; and when it took place. That's pretty natural. Before, during, after. So what normally happens in these ones is there's some sort of status quo, and you need to describe that status quo. And then there's something wrong with that status quo, or something changes. Why? Maybe our protagonist has a character flaw or something like this that they're going to overcome, or some obstacle they're going to overcome. So the before is describing the status quo. The during is describing the change, going from status quo to after, and the after is the new status quo. So that's what you describe. And you take this, you rewrite it in 400 characters or thereabouts. I get the feeling, so when I took the exam, I did the handwritten one. And there's like Japanese people and Korean people all around me, and they would go well over 400 characters. Like, I mean, I'm not reading what they wrote, but I'm just glancing. I was like, oh wow, they wrote a lot more than what I wrote. So when it said you should abridge it in 400 characters or thereabouts, 左右, I took that quite literally. I thought if you wrote too many characters, yeah, that would be bad. But I think the idea is you just memorize it, use lots of flowery language and so on. It's a very meaningless, pointless exam task. Now, guess what? It's going to go away. It's gone, or at least it will go soon. And now we have meaningful writing tasks. So, all right, so we have 2 writing tasks. One is 150 characters, one is 300 characters. Slightly longer, but 不少于. So now we're not aiming for 400 characters, or at least in theory. Yeah. Yeah. So, all right. So the first one, 你租了一套居室的房子. So you're renting a 2-bedroom apartment or house. So basically, you want to write a 交租信息. All right. So we have this. We're writing, kind of like an advert or something for house rental. We want to describe the conditions. I feel like there's like an adult bonus here. Children are not familiar with the rental process, renting out an apartment, whereas an adult probably knows a bit more about this. So normally you say things like no smoking, no pets, things like no loud noise. In China, there's no pornography. Your landlord bans pornography and things like this. All right. What's this one? So yeah, the first one is kind of non-fiction, right? It's fiction in the sense of you're making it up. All right. Yeah, but it's non-fiction in that it's supposed to mimic a it's not like a made-up story or anything. There's no plot twists or anything like this. No character development. All right. But this one, what's this? This is an argumentative piece, isn't it? 科技极大的改变了我们的生活方式。你觉得科学发展是会促进还是抑制人的全面发展？行，就这个话题谈谈你的观点。字数不少于300字。Yeah. So this is an opinionated, argumentative piece. So I've been doing this. Ilunwen. So these are Golkar essays for argumentative writing. So because I'm preparing for HSK 7 through 9, and there's argumentative writing on that exam. So there's argument. So this is much better for me. These are meaningful things. Like you're allowed to write whatever you want, right? I feel like this is substantially better. Still wouldn't know how to write this one though. Yeah, this one is probably okay as long as you have I don't know, some kind of knowledge about the topic. So science. So the development of science, advancements in science, does it foster or hinder humans or people's 全面发展? So 全面, you can't just focus on a specific. You need to like talk about maybe their physical development, like puberty and growth, like biological development, but also their mental and social and like career development and other aspects as well. Yeah, it's a much more meaningful question than here is a 1,000-character story. Rewrite it. Oh. Yeah, the HSK 5 exam for the 2.0 standards was better than the HSK 6, well, the writing section in particular, because you actually could write whatever you wanted to write. Here, for the HSK 2.0, it was a disaster. I don't know whose idea that was, but it was a disaster. And this, I don't know. I think there's, yeah, this is just a normal thing to do. Yeah, write 150 characters about this, write 300 characters about this, which is perfectly normal. Although, yeah, on some exams, usually you might have 1, 2, 3 different options and you pick one that suits you, just in case you don't know anything about renting a place. But here, no, you don't have a choice. You have to act like a landlord, and you have to act like an expert on the development of science, even if you don't know anything about science. All right. Anyway, that's much more meaningful. So the writing section seems substantially better in my opinion. Reading section seems fine. Yeah, and that's it. That's it for this part. 45 minutes. Has that changed? 1 second. Right. So here's the HSK 6. This is still according to the 2.0 standards. So 50, 51, 45 minutes. So where were we? Here. No, not this one. Oh, too many. This one. So 45 minutes. So same time, but you're writing a little bit more, but at the same time, you have the freedom to write what you want, which means it's easier. All right, what's this say? 注考试总时常函考生填写吧. Oh, this is not. Just filling in the card. Hold on. 考生填写个人信息及这个. So I remember. So I took the handwritten exam. The listening section, you wouldn't fill in the card immediately. You would just mark on the exam sheet your answers and then fill in the card during the card filling in time. But anyway, I'm not sure if that's changing. It's not a huge deal, honestly. All right. Now, the other one I accidentally flicked up is this one. So this is the Koyu, the oral exam. So this is level 3. So it looks like this is becoming part of the HSK. So we're not talking about HSKK anymore, the oral exam being separate. But they do give a separate file for this oral component. All right, 听力复述. So we'll have to listen to the audio. I have, like, 复述 means you just say back what they said to you. So this is as much a listening test as it is a writing test. So this is very much like the HSK 高级 看图说话. So I feel you're meant to narrate a story. 2 minutes. I presume there is preparation time. Usually the prep time matches the speaking time. So 2 minutes prep, 2 minutes that. But I don't know. I don't know if there's prep time. And the part 3. OK, 回答问题。你觉得自己和父母那一代人有什么相同和不同的地方？ So, all right. That would be a little bit challenging. Presumably there would be prep time. Yeah, so my italki teachers tend to say I should have an introduction, say something at the start, what I'm going to talk about. I give 2 pieces of information. One is usually from personal experience and one is from general experience. And then you just summarize again. And that's all you got time for. It is quite challenging. This would be very challenging for me. 有人说最好的投资就是投资自己。你赞成这个观点吗？请说明理由。So this is argumentative again. So are you for or against this? The best investment is investing in yourself. Presumably most people would say yes. So yeah, we need argumentation. Sorry, I mentioned this before, but I forgot to mention the means of argumentation. So you're expected to do 4 things. Well, 4 in the writing. One is a title. You have a good title to your article. Yeah, actually, going back to the writing. Oh, sorry, I'm getting this out of order, aren't I? Whoa, there's way too much. This one. So I don't know if there's a title needed for these. That one, maybe, I don't know. You need a title for an advert, don't you? Yeah. Okay, and this one. Maybe. Does 300 characters warrant a title? Maybe. I think I would add a title just in case. Title. Next, you need a point you're trying to get across, your contention. This is your, what is it called? 论证. Sorry, let me cite this. Your 论点. Your 论点. So you want your points of argumentation that you want to get across. You're going to demonstrate that, and you're going to demonstrate it through the use of 论据. Sorry. All right, I'll put it this way. 论据, your evidence. So you need evidence. So you have your 论点, what you're going to argue. You present your 论据, your evidence, and then you use your 论证, your argumentation, to go from the evidence to the point you're trying to prove. So it's argumentative writing. Yeah. All right. So now that we've done that, shall we give it a try? I'll have to get the MP3s. 1 second. All right, let's give it a try.
第一部分，第1到8题，听一段话，选出与所听内容一致的一项，每题听1次。现在开始第1题。例如，
在巴黎奥运会跳水女子10米跳台决赛中，中国选手全红婵再现水花消失术，并以优异的成绩获得了奥运冠军。挑战全红婵10米台无水花跳水也在社交平台形成话题，不少网友晒出了自己跳水的视频，并表示亲身体验后更能理解跳水运动员的不易。
Okay, so maybe you know her. I know her. I remember her from the Olympics, right? Maybe she's famous internationally. I think she got like perfect 10 or something like this, right? Yeah, that was incredible. Yeah. All right, anyway. uh yeah, it certainly makes it a lot easier if you know what they're talking about. So we're talking about her, the Olympic diving champion. 跳水技艺高超. All right. Yeah, that would have been pretty easy. That's the answer. Yeah. So Chen can be a surname, it seems. Okay. 10米跳台决赛竞争激烈. It's probably true, but all right. They just didn't say it. 红蝉为网友示范跳水. No. Olympic champion. 多人挑战多人挑战无水花跳水成功. I don't even know what that means. 无水花. Oh, sorry, 水. So 水花 is like 火花, but it's 水花, 雪花. So 火花 are like fire flowers, which means sparks, right? And then there's 雪花, snow flowers, which are like snowflakes. And this is 水花, and this is splash, right? Little droplets in the air everywhere. So this is no splash 跳水, diving. So that's pretty advanced concept, right? In a foreign language. All right. So, but that answer would be very easy, I think. So that would not pose a major challenge for me, but I don't know if that's representative. Yeah. 挑战全红婵10米台无水花跳水. So, oh, by the way, do you know 挑战? 挑战 usually gets translated to challenge. I am going to face an important challenge in English. So in Chinese, it can function as a verb, not in the sense of I challenge you to a duel, but it can have the meaning to take on a challenge. Yeah, so I think that's what's going on here. So many people are taking on the challenge of this and giving success. So this usage, I don't recall seeing it in dictionaries and so on, but it's in widespread use. Maybe it's in Chinese dictionaries. But I remember getting tripped up by that on the HSK 5 exam at some point. All right. So why is it not this one? Doran. Oh, so this is not many people. This is as opposed to Danren, right? So yeah, so Chen Hongchan won gold in the Olympics, which is Paris Olympics, right? Yeah. Did you see her? She was amazing. Yeah. Yeah, so she did it in singles, not in like this is more like parallel diving, right? Yeah, China does quite well at diving, right? It seems to be the Chinese thing. Badminton, ping pong, and diving, China's exceptionally good at. Australia is good at swimming, but the USA puts up a fight in swimming too. All right. Okay, so that question wouldn't be especially hard. I'll just put this on. I can't put it all on at the same time, and I'll play the audio. So it's going to read this. Oh, I saw the answer. I didn't really see the answers. Not looking. Here we go. Okay, play the audio
第
now.
二部分，第9到28题，听短文，选择正确答案。每题听一次。例
微专
如，
业。
微专业指的是高校在学生的主修专业目录之外，围绕某个特定学术领域研究方向或职业素养开设的一组课程。微专业的关键课程一般包括5至10门，主要安排在周末或工作日晚上。这种小而精的课程为学员提供了较为灵活的时间选择。近年来，不少高校都开设了微专业，这些课程受到许多学生和上班族的欢迎。微专业不是学历教育，完成课程也不发学位证。为什么能收获高人气呢？有高校老师表示，能学到最时髦的真本事是微专业受欢迎的原因之一。比如，北京林业大学开设的自然教育微专业，包括自然环境解说、遗产保护与传承、自然教育资源学等课程。结业后，学员能更好地掌握自然教育的相关专业技能，为后续从事相关工作打好基础。微专业受到热捧，体现出当代青年水涨船高的精神文化需求。为了应对知识爆炸，对抗知识老化，越来越多的人通过微专业课程、慕课等途径主动学习，加快知识更新，优化知识结构。
Yeah, that would have been a
9.
bit challenging.
关于微专业的课程设置，可以知道什么？
Yeah, you probably don't actually get this written, so you probably just get this on the actual exam. That is very similar to the current HSK part 3. So, all right. So they talked about 微专业, some kind of extracurricular activity. What was the question? 可以知道什么? What do you know? The design. Could be this one. 注重学科体系完整性。练课. It could be this one. I don't know the answer. This one or this one? 工作日不开课. Oh, maybe it's just that one. It's kind of like extracurricular activities, right? Okay, I'll choose A. I'm not sure if I'm going to do well on this one. All right, let's do the next question. 1 second, I'll press play. Oh, it's here anyway. 这所大学排名靠前，微专业能学到
10.
真题。
这段话举北京林业大学的例子，是想说明什么？
Oh, that's a little challenging. I don't know. So the purpose of giving that example was not related to the university, so I don't think it's this. It's just that that happened to be the example. 微专业能学到真题领 could be this one. 这所大学学术氛围浓厚. No, we're not. We're not talking about the university. We're talking about 微专业. So this one and this one are out just because they're talking about the university. 自然教育专业就业前景好. Oh, 自然, this 自然 is functioning as an adverb, right? Or an adverbial. So naturally, 教育专业. Yeah, I don't think it's this. I think it's B. They talked about this somewhere there. Yeah, I mean, I can see the answer at the bottom, but it is. I think I would have gotten this one, but I certainly would not have just. What's the word? Just known this from listening correctly and so on. So that would still be a bit challenging for me. Listening is one of my weaknesses. My reading is my strength, right? All right, 11. Can I cover up the answer? I haven't seen it.
11. 越来越多的人主动学习是为了什么？
So why are more and more people doing it? 提升学历 拓展业余爱好，应对知识老化。This one deal with like mental aging. Yeah, I remember they mentioned that in particular. 消除知识爆炸。What? This has got nothing to do with anything. This one and this one seem plausible, but this is what they talked about. So that would be a challenging question. It is C. And lucky last, 在线直播授课。在线直播授课 online classes，课程免
12
费开放。
关于微专业，下列哪项正确？
Alright, so it's not this one, it's not this one. 不光教授，在校生。在校生 This is on-campus students. So not only enroll on-campus students, 在校生, as opposed to students who are not on campus, who don't live on campus. 多由职业院校开设。No, they're not organized and designed and whatnot by 院校, right? So C. So yeah, if I faced that question on an actual exam, I feel like I would have probably gotten them correct. I think this one I definitely would have gotten correct. Here, what did I choose? A. I would have got that one wrong, wouldn't I? C. They did say this. Maybe I should have just chosen it. But at the same time, under exam conditions, I'm not making YouTube videos and so on, so I can actually concentrate a bit more. All right, but I should practice. I mean, it seems like HSK 6, the current one, would be perfectly fine practice for this section. All right. So next we have an interview. I shouldn't read it. I should just look at these answers. Ugh. All right, it's kind of annoying, but
第
all right.
3部分，第29到40题，听采访，选择正确答案。
Hang on.
每题听一次。例如，
从散文到电视。
Well, sanctity, right? I didn't mishear that, right? Let me try it again. Something went
第
wrong there.
3部分，第29到40题，
这是
听采访，选择正确答
okay.
案。每
But they only
题
provide
听
the
一
first
次。
one.
例如，
从散文到电视剧，我的阿勒泰的改编并非易事，是什么吸引你启动该项目的？
作品背后的吸引力是人。一个人是作家李娟，我不认识他，但仅通过文字就被他吸引。他的文字朴实而隽永，展现悲悯、达观、幽默的态度，很珍贵。另一个人是导演、编剧滕从从，我和他是大学同学，很熟悉。他坚韧的品质和对工作的执着都令人钦佩。他举荐李娟老师的文学作品，并巧妙地找到了架构散文内容的叙事解法，让我们有了影视化改编的信心。
这部电视剧创作前期做了哪些工作？
对于我的阿勒泰的创作，导演和编剧不是简单将原作影视化，他们延展阅读了大量有关新疆和哈萨克族的书籍，2次前往当地考察，感受当地风土人情。这种创作模式更具温度。同时，创作团队中不乏新疆人，他们对当地文化有深刻理解，将自己的生活经验分享给大家。我们的民族顾问是哈萨克族学者，中央民族大学老师，他从台词、情节到服装、道具都悉心给予指点，确保内容考究。创作过程是一个逐渐揭开阿勒泰神秘面纱的过程。
该剧的播出和走红也带火了阿勒泰旅游。影视与文旅相融合，是创作之初就明确的方向吗？
不是，文旅方面的规划是在剧集拍摄结束、后期制作阶段逐渐延展的想法。
该剧在影视文旅融合方面做了哪些新尝试？
我们团队做了很多尝试，比如与阿勒泰地方政府文旅局沟通，将电视剧周边产品销售产生的价值反哺建设阿勒泰，让这里变得更美好，保护当地宝贵的生态资源。我们还结合剧中经典场景设计旅游路线，带动当地旅游。
All right, that would be quite
29，
challenging.
创作团队前期做了什么准备工作？
前期 all right，做了什么工作？当地人前往收集民族传说录制民俗短片。I don't know. I don't know. I missed it. So we talked about like, is it documenting Kazakh populations in Xinjiang? That's pretty intense in the sense of requires considerable cultural knowledge and so on. So yeah, that's still pretty challenging. I don't know. This one? So 前往当地考察收集 I don't think it's C. Be A. I don't know. Let's continue. I don't know. I don't know the answer. 以生态治理 No. 有民族顾
30，
问
关
进行
于电视剧《我的阿勒泰》，下列哪项正确？
电视剧 so it's a TV series, not a documentary. But okay. 改编自导演的亲身经历，获得了年度最佳影片。I think this feels made up to me. Like, all right, best film of the year. I'm gonna go B. What's next? Yeah, I'll choose this one. No, I don't like that one. I'll go B. Okay, B. Oh.
31，
All right.
创作团队和当地文旅单位是如何推动阿勒泰旅游的？
Sometimes you get marks just because you're so familiar with the exam format. 如何邀请这个宣传片推出电视剧，同款旅游路线。This one, right? Yeah, it says it on the screen. I'm not trying to read it, but this one sounds a lot more familiar with what was said. Yeah, I'm finding this a little challenging though. All right, what's the next question? 台湾很容易影视化。So
32，下列哪项属于男的观点？
oh, did she say 不属于or 属于？
32，
Let's have a quick listen again. Did she say 属于 or 不属于？ Very important.
32，下列哪项属于男
属于
的观点？
男的观点 All right. 男的观点 的男的This one 未来还将回阿勒泰取景 Okay, presumably this is a place in Xinjiang. I don't know. 影视改编未必要还原原著。So this is not a natural thing to say. I don't recall hearing this. Yeah. I don't know, maybe I would have gotten it. Anyway, this does not seem all that different to the current HSK 6, the 2.0 standards, aside from there being fewer questions. Of course, fewer questions means, dun 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 dun, if you get one wrong, you lose more marks, right? It also means if you get one right, you get more marks. So a bit of a double-edged sword. No, actually, maybe it's a single-edged sword. One side is quite safe, one side is very sharp. My metaphor broke down. All right. And now we have, what's this? Oh, sorry, we need to go to this one. We need to do the oral. This could be a total disaster for me, so it was a total disaster on the exam, and I'm a bit embarrassed by it, but sorry, give me a second, I'll get the MP3 going. All right. Don't you you'll get me, well, not demonetized, but you'll get YouTube angry at me. I'm not at
你
monetization
好，
stage.
欢迎参加 HSK 6级口语考试。
你好，欢迎参加 HSK 6级口语考试。
你好，欢迎
欢迎
参加
参加
HSK
6
6
级
级口
口语
语考试。
考试。
HSK 6级口语考试分
然后
3部分
复，述
共5题。请注意，口语考试现在开始。你叫什么名字？
我叫李贝。你是哪国人？
你是哪国人？
我是澳大利亚人。有点像，有点。But I live in China, so it's a bit weird to answer that question.
你的准考证号码后5位是多少？
我没有准考证号码，我也没有座位。1号。the last few
好
digits of the.
现在开始第1到2题。
So this really is the
每题
HSKK.
你会听到一段话，请在低声后复述这段话。
I think it's
现
not.
在开始第1题。1.
有个盲人在夜晚走路的时候，手里总是提着一个灯笼。别人看见了就好奇地问：“你自己看不见，为什么还要提着灯笼走路？”
Good
盲人
question.
回答说：“我提灯笼可以为别人照路，为别人提供光明。这样一来，别人也就容易看到我，不会撞到我了。”是的，很多时候我们在帮助别人的同时，其实也是在帮助自己。
Oh, okay. That's not really a problem. 有一个盲人，他走路的时候，拿着一个灯笼，一台灯笼。灯笼，有一个人很好奇，就问盲人，你为什么走路的时候拿着灯笼？因为他不能看到东西。盲人回答说：“虽然我看不到东西，但是别人可以看得到。这样人们不会碰到我的身上。这个故事告诉我们，就是有时候帮助别人，就算是帮助自己。Yeah, honestly, that was substantially easier than the one I got on the HSKK Gaoji exam. Yeah, if I got that, I would have no problems whatsoever. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't perfect, but you clearly knew I understood that story, right? All right. Sorry, I'm just waiting for it to go. I'm still supposed to be speaking, but I already told the story. I don't want to watch 天竺。
2. 很多人都有这种感觉，当我们在做自己喜欢的事情时，很少感到疲劳。 比如在一个假日里，你到湖边去钓鱼，整整做了10个小时，可你一点儿都不觉得累，因为钓鱼是你的兴趣，你从中享受到了快乐。产生疲劳感的主要原因是对某项工作特别厌烦。心理上的疲劳往往比肉体上的体力消耗更让人难以忍受。
很多人有这种的感觉，就是做你想做的事情，不觉得疲劳，不觉得累。比如说到湖边钓鱼的时候，时间过得很快，你不觉得累，不觉得无聊。为什么呢？就是人们做他们不想做的事情，就觉得厌烦。Honestly, I forget why. I shouldn't have said 为什么呢？That's probably all I can remember from that. Is there anything else I'm supposed to say? That wasn't too bad. Certainly, what I experienced on the HSK Gaudi was much, much harder than that. Yeah, it wasn't kind of just everyday stuff like that. So maybe they've toned down the difficulty. Yeah. All right, so I'm still waiting for it. Maybe I'll
准
skip it.
备第3题。
Okay.
第3题你会看到4张图片，请根据这组图片说一段话，可以在试卷上写提纲。
I'm sorry, what? Decenti. Oh, sorry, decenti. Not, but diarabufen, decenti. So I'm meant to narrate this story. Okay.
准备时间为3分钟。
What did she say about the tigang? Let's go back.
好，现在开始准备第3题。第3题你会看到4张图片，请根据这组图片说一段话，可以在试卷上写提纲。准备时间为3分钟。
3 minutes prep, is that right? Let me listen
图
again.
片，请根据这组图片说一段话，可以在试卷上写提纲。准备时间为3分钟。
Yeah. So she says you can write in the script, but I'll probably take the computer one this time. And so you're allowed to make handwritten notes for 3 minutes and then 2 minutes of narrating. But I'm going to skip the 3 minutes prep and we'll just go. All right. Okay. 有一位老奶奶叫李美 I don't know 李美天李美 No, I should what's her name? 李元美李元燕 Okay, 李元燕 That's her name. 李元燕有一天觉得有点蹊跷蹊跷 That's pretty advanced, right? 蹊跷 bit fishy. 于是他决定去医院看病。挂号做手术以后，进入医生的办公室里，和年轻医生开始商量。他说他的症状包括头晕，头晕头疼，他的身体有一点奇怪，难以控制。医生认为应该测试一下，做一些测试，发现有什么问题。他发现他的 MRI 扫描结果上发现 脑子里有一个小肿瘤，会影响他的动作，让他的头很疼。于是呃，李媛燕，呃没有别的选择，需要做手术，算是紧急情况。第二天，呃，没有吃饭，连续10个小时没有吃饭以后，到医院做手术。呃，有那位医生和2位护士，就是切除脑子里的肿瘤，手术很成功。也不久以后，他苏醒了。医生高兴地对他说：“手术成功了。”护士在他的身边附和道：“对啊，几天以后你可以出院。”然后呢？啊，呃，果然，三天那天的晚上，呃，李媛燕恢复了正常，她可以站起来走路，她呃，她她的动作恢复正常的状况，呃，而且她的她的老公、她的女儿、她的孙女都呃来来到医院接她，带她回家，大家都很开心。All right, that was pretty lame, but all right. So this is okay. Was that 2 minutes? I don't know. I wasn't testing. This is not the section I'm especially scared of. I tried to use some more advanced words. 蹊跷. Is that the right word? 蹊跷? 他觉得很蹊跷. Yeah, I didn't do any prep as well. 蹊跷. I needed to give her a name. Sorry, I'm going to look it up on Pleco. 蹊跷. Yeah, fishy. 奇怪,可疑. 他觉得很蹊跷. It's a pretty rare word, but all right. So that wasn't horrible. So okay, we don't need the audio, do we? For this section? The next section is audio, but I guess it just says do this. Well, why would you have audio? Maybe it's for timing rather than anything else. So I'll get rid of the audio and just do this. 你觉得自己和父母那一代人有什么相同和不同的地方？ Actually, I want to figure out how much prep time there is. So I'm going to pause and figure it out. All right, let's see if we can get it to go. 1 second. Sorry. Here we go. 说话，说话，说话呀！
第3题结
OK，
束，现在开始准备第4到5题，可以在试卷上写提纲，准备时间为7分钟。
7 minutes. Got 7 minutes prep time, presumably for both of them. Wow, that's a lot. Okay, 7 minutes prep time. So 7 minutes prep time, and then let me figure it out. Yeah, I didn't miss here. They give you 7 minutes prep time for this section alone. That's pretty good. That's a lot of prep
准
time.
备时间结束，
Yeah.
现在开始回答第4题。
Bong. Oh, there's no bong. All right. So I remember on the HSK Gaudi, there was a bong. 现在开始 bong. And the bong, you have to wait for the bong. If there's no bong, you shouldn't speak because it's not recording unless there's a bong. I just like saying bong a lot. All right. I'm not sure I'll do this. Should I do it? This is an argumentative piece, and I'll probably will need to actually do the prep time. Yeah, but 7 minutes is pretty good. It will give me time to think up the correct points of argumentation and to eliminate points of argumentation I shouldn't use and so on. Yeah. Has this changed? I'm curious. 1 second. Yeah, so I found this on Reddit. Thank you, Philosopher137. This one. So after the first question, so this is the current HSKK Gaudi. The first question is very similar to what we saw already, right? So the 复数. Yeah, all right. And so the current one gives you 10 minutes prep time. Yeah, this is what I did as well. Like you get 10 minutes prep time and you spend it mostly on part 3 because it's harder. Yeah, you need good listening skills for the first question. Good memory as well. Very, very hard. All right. So where were we? This one? So you get 7 minutes here and 3 minutes here. So it's equivalent. It's very, very similar to the HSKK Gaudi. Maybe it is the HSKK Gaudi with just a different name. Oh, this has changed. This is the same, but it seemed much easier this time than when I took it. Okay, 1 second again. Right, okay, so here is an example of the current one, HSKK Gaudi. Maybe it's unchanged. Maybe they're going to leave it as a separate exam. Why would you do that? I don't know why. They make you take this separate exam. Why would you count it as a separate exam? It makes it seem like you can not take it. So this is what it is currently. 听后复数朗读 is not a problem. 如果 that's not a problem. These are not like 零花钱. These are not like the questions I got on the exam. The ones I got on the exam were much, much harder. Like they were more philosophical and so on. Here's a quote. What does it mean to you? 听后复数. Where can I get the audio? 1 second. Right, so I found it here. I found one of them here.
你叫
1 second. Yeah, so here in particular, 口语引导文件. Yeah. So
什么名字？你的序号是多少？
你的序
第
号是
1到
多少？
3题，请
So
听
this
后
is
复述。
HSK 2.0.
一天，老鼠们聚在一起开会，他们在讨论怎样才能不被猫抓住。有一只老鼠想了一个好办法，在猫的脖子上挂一个铜铃，这样只要猫一走过来，它们就会听到铜铃的声音。老鼠们都兴高采烈地喊道：“这个主意太好了！”但另一只老鼠提出一个问题： 怎样才能把铜铃挂到猫的脖子上呢？大家都沉默了。一只年老的老鼠叹了口气，说道：“看来没有可操作性的办法，不是好办法。”
好，开始复述。
All right, that one's no problem. Yeah. 有一天老鼠开会，他们想知道如何避免猫再抓住他们。一个老鼠推出一个主意，他说我们应该把铜铃加到它的脖子上，这样它来的时候会叮叮响将将响着，我们听到这个声音，就有时间可以逃跑。大家都哈哈大笑的赞同他的主意，但是有一个犹豫的老鼠说，谁谁敢把铜铃加到猫的脖子上？没人愿意。也所以他就是叹口气说那就没办法，有时候不能实现的办法不是办法。So that's not really a problem, but that was not remotely close to like that guy spoke such like a baby. Like they're talking like a baby. There's nothing like that on what I got. It was much harder what I got on the HSK Gaoji exam. Yeah, if it was something like that, it's like, oh, whoop-de-doo. Yeah, you get one shot as well. What can I say? What can I say? Anyway, I guess that will do for this video. Is there anything else we need to talk about? Just a quick summary. There's now this new syllabus. New syllabus you can get from here, Chinese test here, which I'm calling HSK 3.1. There's lots of changes to words and characters. There's lots of change levels. Some have been added, some have been removed. Yeah, there's quite a lot of changes. We went through sample exams. Oops, where were we? Yeah, sample exams, but they're not. They're incomplete. It's just sample questions so that we know the format. And we found, yeah. So this is the HSK 6. The HSK 6. 10 fewer questions in both the listening and reading section, which is pretty good. At least I find that pretty good because I was struggling with the timing. Like, yeah, I need a bathroom break here. And it was like, no, you got to hang on and you got to do the writing section while busting for the loo. And it's like, is this really, really important for my education? So listening section is largely the same, just fewer questions. The reading section, we've dropped the Yubing faulty wording section. Thank you. No one liked that section. Some minor changes. So this was most the same. This one's changed. I think notably, these all seem to be HSK 6. Like not HSK 5 or lower and not non-HSK 6 words, which is pretty good. Makes it substantially easier for me. In the past, yeah, you had to know non-HSK words and all sorts of things, just arbitrary content. And the format has changed where each blank you choose the appropriate word to put in. That's a better format. This one seems to have gotten slightly harder. We didn't do this, did we? I didn't do the reading, but I don't think I want to do it right now. I need to do it to be able to gauge the difficulty, or should I do it? maybe I'll do it in the next video. This looks identical. This one is slightly harder because there's a throwaway answer. And the writing section is completely reformed. There's not any similarity anymore. You write a kind of factual one and a more an opinionated one of different lengths. And this seems like a much more meaningful task to me. The HSK oral section is very much like the HSKK Gaoji currently. The sample seems so much easier than what I actually got on the exam for the Fu Shu. Like, they tell you the story, you say it again. I don't know, maybe I just had an unlucky exam or something like that. This has changed, but rather than read aloud whatever snippet they give you, you tell a story based on the images. 3 minutes prep time, and here 7 minutes prep time, not stated in the text. And you give a speech on these topics. This one's more factual, this one's argumentative. It's possible. It's possible. So them's the changes. Yeah. Welcome to the new syllabus. What I'm calling the HSK 3.1 because it's a new version of the HSK 3.0 syllabus. All right, thank you all for watching. Yeah, I really do appreciate everyone here, and remember to like, subscribe. I'll see you in future videos. TTFN.